Hey guys, I'm Makalia, obviously, because who else would I be? And I've been promising to film my Q&A video for you guys, and it keeps getting put off. So I'm finally doing it. I am splitting it into two parts because I think there's over 20 questions, and I don't want this to be a 30 or 40-minute video for you guys to have to watch. So that way you can watch it in two parts. But first, I have to show you this. Oh my goodness, isn't it so pretty? There's Maddox and Emma. Aren't they so cute? I love that cover. And oh, there's the hedgehog. He's sticking his tongue out too. I don't know if you can see. It's adorable. It would be even better if he was wearing a cape. Alright, so I'm just going to jump right into it. The questions are on my phone, so that's why I'm looking down. Alright, so first question. Which Willow Creek boy is your favorite? But honestly, they're all pretty awesome. They are. If you'd asked me this question before I started writing book 2, I probably would have said Maddox or Ezra, but Matthias is my favorite now. And I think he's probably one of my top favorite characters that I've ever written out of like 17 books or whatever. He's kind of blowing me away. He's still Matthias, so he still has his outbursts, and he's still, I mean, if you've read the first book, you know how he is. Like, one minute he's kind of sweet, and the next he's sort of just like, whatever. So, I mean, you still see that, but you get to see, you get more depth to him. And he's a bad boy with a heart of gold, basically. So you get to see the stuff he hides from everybody else that he does. That's pretty sweet. Is there a genre that you would like to explore or one that you think you won't? I would love to write a suspense or a mystery. I probably will never will, because that would take a lot of planning, and I don't plan when I write. I start with a general idea and let the characters take over. And yeah, I don't think for the way I function to write, I don't think I could ever do it, but I would like to. Are you going to get us addicted to other things like you do with ketchup and hedgehogs? What about the gummy bears? Probably. If you've seen my post, then you know Matthias has a little pit bull rescue puppy. I don't know if there's any other like weird quirks though in this book. I'll have to think of something for Ezra's book. How do you deal with stress? Do you feel better when you are alone or when you are around people? Does talking about it help? I don't know. Like, I don't talk about it. I just don't. I don't share my issues with other people, like family or whatever, because I mean, they can't do anything about it. So I have to deal with it. And so I don't know, that's probably not the best way to deal with it, but that's how I deal with it. What is your favorite positive saying and your favorite quote? That's a hard one to think of off the top of my head. I think I say everything happens for a reason all the time. So that's probably my favorite saying. And my favorite quote would probably be the one that's in, I think, Finding Olivia, that says, "Life is but a breath, live it well." Or maybe it's Chasing Olivia. I don't know. One of those. Oh, my questions went away. Come back. If you could change all the negativity in the world to positivity, how would you try and achieve that? Well, number one, you can't change all the negativity. You can't have the positive without the negative. If you don't have the negative, then you can't appreciate the good that's in your life. So you just have to learn to cope with it. And, there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days. And you have to realize that as a human being. And you have to learn to not take things so personally and just move past it. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? I think my phone froze. When was your first ever fan experience, and do you remember who it was? Did it feel weird? P.S. I love you. I love you too, whoever you are. My first fan experience, like, I don't know, I'll say, I don't know if you mean it in person or not. My first fan experience, like, ever, like, where someone actually interacted with me would be Emily. I know she doesn't care if I say her name. She's not a blogger or anything. She just reached out to me after reading Forbidden, so that was like my second book that released. So she's been around for a long time, and we've become really good friends. And I mean, it wasn't weird. I don't think I've had any like weird fan experiences that it's anything being creepy. It is kind of like weird in like a crazy way when people sort of like fangirl, and I'm like, I'm sitting here in my pajamas, like, I'm not right now, but like typically like I'm sitting around in my pajamas like reading or writing. I'm not that interesting. You don't need to fangirl over me. In person, I don't know if I have like ever had like a crazy fan experience in person. I think maybe my first book signing was pretty crazy, and if you remember, I had the cover models on Finding Olivia with me. There they are, Trace and Olivia. And so like, yeah, it was crazy to like see people that I had interacted with online and felt like I sort of knew them and recognized them. So like, if you're somebody that like talks to me a lot online and like I know what you look like from your profile picture, I'll probably scream, "I know you," at you, because I don't know. That's what I do. So I'm probably the crazy one, whereas the fans aren't so crazy. How did you think of the name Willow Creek for the band? I honestly don't know. I've been asked this several times, and I don't know. Originally, I wanted to name Emma Willow or Willa. I don't know why. I kept going back to those names. And then all of a sudden, I was like, what if I named the band Willow Creek? And so, of course, I had to get rid of the name Willow. And it was just one of those things that as soon as I thought of Willow Creek, I thought of the backstory of why they were named that. Because that was a big thing for me, is there had to be a reason for the band name. So Willow Creek just popped into my head one day, and I was like, I asked my beta readers what they thought of it, and they liked it, and so I went with it and had the logo made, and it just sort of all fell together. What is your plan for the books you're writing? When do you plan on releasing books? This is a hard one for me to answer because I don't really plan. Just like I don't plan what I'm going to write in my books, I don't really plan release dates. Matthias's book, Never Too Late, will be out for sure April 21st, I believe. It's for pre-order on Amazon if you haven't gotten it already. Let's see. Oh, and his cover reveal is March 11th. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see. In June, Ezra's book is coming out. So I don't have a date yet, but his book will be out in June, probably later in the month, like Never Too Late will be. And right now, the plan is for Hayes' book to come out in August. But I might need a break from the Rockstars. And if I do, then I'm going to write a brand new standalone. There's 2 I'm wanting to write. So one or the other of those would come out in August instead of his book, and his book would then be moved to October. Yeah. So the Willow Creek series will be completed this year for sure. So just know you're getting all 4 of those books, because there's 4, and at least 2 others. So there will be 6 releases this year, 1 every other month, because I'm crazy. Clearly. Are you ever going to do anything else with the Outsider series and Fallen series like those extras you do? Those 2 series were the first books I ever read by you, and I just absolutely love them. I don't want them to end, so please consider writing some extras, please. By the way, now I want to go and buy a cute baby hedgehog. You should buy a hedgehog. Everybody should buy a hedgehog. I don't have one, but everybody else should. Okay, so I don't have any plans to write any more extras for that series. And the Trace and Olivia series, I don't think I'm going to write any more extras for that one either. I know a lot of you want something from Trent's point of view because I haven't given you anything. And I did do I did one Jude point of view for Saving Tatum. So I might try and give you something from Trent's point of view. But as for the Outsider series and the Fallen series, there will not be any more extras from that one. I think I know for Outsider series, I think there's already 20,000 words worth of extras. I mean, it gets to be a lot. And so I just don't have the time to keep going. But now, I mean, I might one day give, if you've read Avenger, I might give Bo a book. I don't have any plans for that at this time. But I left that open for a reason, so that if I ever did decide to go back to it, I could. So, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. You know what? This video is only 10 minutes already, so I'm just going to keep going through these questions. I'm not talking as much as I thought I would. Alright, next question. Will you ever write another young adult or maybe new adult paranormal book? Or will Outsider be the only series you'll write that will be in the paranormal genre? Well, the Fallen series is paranormal. It's vampires. So there is one other. I don't have any plans for anything paranormal this year. And maybe not even next year. What happened? My computer froze. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there will be something eventually. There's just not any definite plans. I'm kind of like, I don't know, I've kind of just been in a contemporary kick. Like, that's what I've been really enjoying reading and writing. And so that's just the ideas that are in my head are for that. I just don't really have anything paranormal. And I think what it is both of my paranormal series, it's 3 books for one couple and 4 books for one couple. And it gets really, really tiring writing about the same couple for like 2-3 years. And so it kind of burnt me out from paranormal, because typically those series are, you know, several books about the same couple. They're not like standalones within a series like contemporary usually is. Now, there are some that are that way, but typically the ones I write are all about the same couple. So I just needed a major break from that. But yeah, I'll definitely go back one day. I mean, I really would like to give Nolan a book from the Outsider series. What advice do you have for young aspiring authors? Number 1, just write. Number 2, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do it. People are very discouraging whenever you're trying to do something that's in the arts, be it writing or singing, painting, whatever. People are very discouraging because it is very hard to make a career out of something like this. So you just have to work at it, and you just have to keep going. If it's something that you want to happen, you have to make it happen. Nobody else is going to make it happen for you. So you just have to know that, and you have to let the negativity not get to you. You know, it's just, don't let it bother you. How do you make the time to write, and how do you stay focused and stick to writing? I get impatient when writing and want to just be like, bam, this book is finished. So do you have any advice on how to sit there and stay focused? If it takes me longer than 6 weeks to write a book, I start to get really, like, I don't want to say bored, because that implies like the story's boring me, and that's not necessarily it. I just kind of get kind of tired of the characters, and I'm like, I'm ready for something new. I think what motivates me the most to keep going is the characters, because I want to see their story finished. So that motivates me to finish it, because back before I ever finished my first book, I have so many books that I started and never finished. So you just sort of like, you have to fall in love with the story and the characters and want to finish it. And I think because if you're a writer like I am, where you don't plan, stuff happens along the way as you're writing that you didn't see coming, and so it kind of makes it a little bit more exciting than if you've planned out every single detail of every chapter. I can't function like that. Will the Willow Creek series ever go back to Maddox and Emma at some point? How many books will be in this series? 4 books in the series. There will not be another book for Maddox and Emma. Their story is done. Their story is sort of like a prequel for the series, because if you go based off the bonus content at the end of the book, Never Too Late takes place 3 years after that. So Matthias and Remy are 23. So I guess it's almost more like the adult genre than new adult because they're not in college. They're done with college. She's working, and he's being Matthias, and he's a rock star. So, but you will see Maddox and Emma for sure. You'll see them a few times in the second book. I think you'll probably see more of them in the third, because the second book is told from Remy's point of view completely. So she's moved away and she's moved back. So she never knew Emma. And it's not like she was really friends with Maddox. Her relationship was with Matthias. So, it's not like she's going to be hanging out with Emma. She doesn't really know her. Is writing your full-time career, or do you have another job? Writing is my full-time job. I'm so lucky that I do get to do this as my full-time job, and that is all thanks to you guys, because you guys love my books and you want to read my books, and that still blows my mind. I think it always will. Before I was able to write full-time, I babysat, and then now I do this full-time, and it's great. But you have to work at it. You have to promote yourself. Don't be afraid to talk about yourself, because that's what you really have to do. That was hard for me at first. I know that a while back you were working on a book called The Enchanted. Will you ever continue this book? That book. I put that book on hold to write Insider, the second book in the Outsider series. And sometimes I really wish I hadn't done that, because I think if I hadn't done that, I would have been able to finish the book. But by the time I went back to it, I just wasn't feeling the story. I would love to finish it, but I think if I ever went back to it, I probably would have to rewrite everything I've written, which is about 60,000 words. So it's quite a significant chunk to have to rewrite. And so it might just be better off if I just did something completely new. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just use that general idea and do something completely new. I don't know. Who knows? How does a young author go about making themselves known? Social media. Absolutely. And that was hard for me because I really hate Facebook. I really, really hate Twitter. I finally got an Instagram, my website. You have to make your presence known. You have to post about your book. You have to talk about your book. You have to just blast it. And it's especially hard right now with like Facebook, for example, where, for example, I have over 5,000 likes on my Facebook page, but on average, only 100 people see a post. So it makes it really, really, really hard to get people to see you. So it helps a lot when people like, post, or share, whatever. I know you probably get asked this question like all the time, but how likely is it for you to ever go back, maybe someday, to a series of yours and do a spinoff or continue with the series? Well, I already said I might do something for Bo, so the answer to that is very likely. I don't know. Yeah, you'll probably see spinoffs in the future, for sure. There might be something this year, but I'm not going to say who it's about yet. Would you ever want for one of your books to be made into a movie? If so, which one would you want to be made into one the most? All of them? I don't know. I think it would be really, really interesting to see. I think Last to Know would be really interesting to see, especially because in a movie, you could probably see more from Maddox's side of things, and like when he takes off and leaves, where is he going? What's he going to do? That would be very interesting, I think, to see. Besides Griffins, is there anything else that links your books together? Can some characters be seen from one book in another one without being named, maybe? Yes. Let's see. Lucinda's from Outsider is in Saving Tatum. That's where Saving Tatum works at Lucinda's, the cupcake shop. And in Beauty and the Ashes, Kaylin and Sutton go to get a tattoo. They both get one. And the tattoo artist is Alba. And you might remember Alba from Finding Olivia. She is the daughter of Marcy, and Marcy is the jewelry store owner, and Olivia worked at the jewelry store. Okay, so I know that's kind of complicated, but I hope you get the idea. What is your favorite thing about writing? Getting to be somebody else for a little while. It's interesting because you have to really kind of analyze things, because you have to think about their personality as a character. They're going to react differently to a situation than I would. So that's very interesting. And I think probably my favorite part. Okay, that is all the questions, and we've gone over 20 minutes. So I'm going to let you guys go. And there goes Maddox and Emma again, because look at it, it's so cute. I just love it. All right,